Hey guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and the G1, or the Google phone as I like to call it, was the original Android device when it launched on T-Mobile in 2008. You know, it had revolutionary operating system, revolutionary web browsing experience, good physical QWERTY keyboard, and it was just different in 2008. When everything else was kind of the same, it was different. That was 2008, and this is 2010, and even diehard G1 owners now are saying, where's my up-to-date phone? Where's my phone with an up-to-date processor, up-to-date keyboard, better camera, Android 2.2 or Froyo installed on board? Where's my new device? To that end, HTC and T-Mobile have answered the call with the T-Mobile G2. It's the newest version in the G series, and in my opinion, it's a worthy upgrade and one of T-Mobile's best smartphones available at the moment. Special thanks to our friends at T-Mobile for hooking us up with the G2 to review. And you're thinking, hey Aaron, why is this the best smartphone on T-Mobile? Well, you're going to find out in the review, which starts right now. Okay, here's the T-Mobile G2, or Google phone 2 as I like to call it. And it's a different, significant upgrade from the T-Mobile G1, not just in design, but in actual specs as well. It's running an 800 MHz Snapdragon processor, has a 5 megapixel camera with a flash, nice metal back, and metal accents around the display, if you can see those, and a vanilla version of Android 2.2 out of the box. Froyo! Android 2.2 out of the box. And it's mostly vanilla, save for some T-Mobile additions like My Account, My Device, but we'll get into those in just a minute. Design-wise, if you didn't catch the unboxing video, you'll notice there's a volume rocker on the left side, micro USB charging port on the left as well, though there's no flap or any sort of cover covering it. A little bit of an interesting decision on their part to put that on the left side. I kind of would have expected it to be on the bottom, but I guess that would have interfered with the hinge. On the right side, camera button. We'll get to that in just a second. 3.5mm headphone jack on the top, along with the power button. And this is pretty cool. This is a new feature on the G2, which for people that have trouble getting battery doors off of their devices, this is neat, which I do as well, but this is neat. It allows you to pull the switch back, it pops off. That easy. Underneath you'll find the battery, micro SD card. It comes with an 8 GB card out of the box, but it supports up to 32 gigabytes. I think that's cool, and it's a little bit different than and easy to remove versus other devices. I'm not pointing any fingers or anything, but other devices, they're a little bit more challenging to remove. One of the cool things about the G2 is the new hinge design. It's what HTC calls a Z hinge. When you flip it up, instead of sliding straight up like the Epic or the Droid 2 or other devices on the market, it actually slides up and over. So if you see from an angle, try to close it here and hold it, it's actually going up and over. So it looks like that as it goes up. Let's see if I can do it from the side. So very unique, something that's different. The one downside to this, the hinge, and this is an issue that people have reported in the forums and such, the hinge is loose enough to where if you hold it upside down, you see how it, hard to do on the camera, but you see how it hangs down. So if you have it like this, you're in bed text messaging at night, and you're holding it upside down, a little bit of wiggling, and it's going to close on you. So that's one frustration people have had. I don't text message in bed upside down, so I don't find it to be a huge issue. But people that do, or people that are hanging upside down from the jungle gym bar, I don't know, something like that. If you're holding the phone upside down, it's going to close on you, and that's been a frustration for a few. As I said, it's running Android 2.2 out of the box, and it's completely almost bone vanilla Android. No changes with the exception of T-Mobile's programs that they've installed. Now, one interesting thing, this literally comes with almost every single Google application that's ever been created over the course of 2 years. It comes with Google Voice, and you'll see this is actually how it looks out of the box. I haven't changed this or modified this in the slightest. This is a full refresh. You'll notice Google Voice, Google Search, Market, Web to Go, which is T-Mobile, but Places, Maps, Goggles, Shopper, Earth, Google Sky, Latitude, My Tracks, Finance, Listen, Google Translate, Talk. All of these are installed out of the box. And while that's not an issue, I would have downloaded most of these myself anyway. I like Google's programs. The problem is you can't remove them. You can't uninstall them. They're there and they're there to stay. So if you don't want Google Sky or Google Sky Map, for example, or you don't want Latitude or Google Earth or whatever, you can't uninstall it from the device. It's stuck there and it's stuck there for good. So that's a little bit of a frustration as well, for people that don't necessarily need Earth or Shopper or Goggles, whatever, and they want to save some space, they can't remove those. So a little bit of frustration there, but nothing that's nothing that would push me to the point of not buying the device. Otherwise, menu very similar to typical Android 2.2 structure. Amazon MP3 is installed. As I said, all the Google programs, T-Mobile's My Account and My Device. Photo Bucket is actually installed. And out of the box, it auto uploads your photos for you. So if you don't want that, make sure to turn that off when you get the device. Quick Keys, which is actually an interesting, while we're in here, I'll show you. Quick Keys is an interesting tool because, let's go to Quick Keys, you can actually set an application for these 3 keys on the keyboard. So, my first response was, I wish they were located down here or something like that, so I didn't have to open the keyboard anytime I wanted to use those short keys, but still it's a nice little touch. On the front of the device, you'll see the typical Android capacitive buttons below the screen, home, menu, back, and search. And then instead of in place of the G1's trackball, you have an optical trackpad on the G2. So it's nice. A little bit more accurate than the trackball, and less prone to dust and issues that could otherwise affect the performance over the course of, let's say, 6 months or a year. That's a nice upgrade. And while I'm on that topic, the actual body, as you can see, is significantly upgraded from the G2. It's a pretty big device. It's 6.5 ounces. So when you compare it to something like the iPhone 4, I'll hold those up. I had a case on this, but compared to the iPhone 4 or even the Droid X, even though it's a little bit taller, it's still a thick device, and it's 6.5 ounces, so it's a little on the heavier side as well, but I like it. It gives it substance, and it feels good in the hand. But you notice the design's a little bit different, a lot different from the G1. The gray colors here, metal accents, the metal battery door really give it a professional look, and it's nice because it can appeal to professionals or teenagers or soccer moms or the busy prosumer. Whoever, it's nice because it's even though it seems generic to some, it's nice because I see this as appealing to several different demographics than maybe the G1 did. That came in a little bit of a funkier design, and it came in several different colors. So I think there's immediately out of the box there's an appeal to all kinds of demographics here that may help the G2 sell a little bit better. But I really want to talk about the keyboard. This keyboard is a QWERTY keyboard, 4 rows, and I have to say it's by far the best physical QWERTY keyboard I've ever used on an Android device. In my opinion, it blows the Epic 4G, the Droid 2, and any other QWERTY-equipped Android device, if you will, out of the water. It's just incredibly well laid out. The keys are very tactile. They're rubbery. They feel good. It's funny, I'm not usually a fan of the island keys, but I just picked this up, and within 5 or 10 minutes, I was running through the keyboard like crazy. So let's send a test text message here. I'm just going to put in 555. And we'll type the quick brown phone dog jumped over the big box. The quick brown phone dog jumped over the big box. So you can see, great tactile response. The keys are slightly raised, as you can see. Keeps up with you. And overall is a fantastic keyboard. It's one of those things, the on-screen keyboard, the Android one at least doesn't have multi-touch on the G2. So I found it to be a little bit frustrating. I was typing faster than the multi-touch keyboard would keep up when it was in portrait mode with the on-screen keyboard. But when I wanted to type a long email, I would pop this sucker out, and within minutes, the email was ready to go and was sent. So fantastic keyboard. I could see people using this for emails and long word processing type stuff. Notes, etc., etc. Fantastic QWERTY keyboard. So kudos to the G2 designers for coming up with a phenomenal physical QWERTY keyboard. So let's jump back here, and while I'm back at the home screen, let's have a look at the browser. It's Android 2.2, so it supports Flash. Let's go to Phone Dog first, but let's go to ESPN. Not the mobile version. Let's go down to here, and let's have a look at that. So you can see, there we go. See the animation working there? Looks like it's a little bit choppy, but not bad for a cell phone by any means. Pinch to zoom, again, extremely, to me at least, extremely responsive. For all of the media, big pictures and such that are on the screen, seems to be a responsive device to me. Very pleased on that front, but let's, in true Phone Dog fashion, we just have to go to phonedog.com. Back to what I was saying about that keyboard, just quick and easy. phonedog.com is already typed in. And as I said before, this is T-Mobile's first HSPA Plus handset. You know, they've had a couple of USB data cards that have handled HSPA Plus, but this is their first cell phone that's HSPA Plus capable. So you can take advantage of those 4G-like speeds if you're in a market that supports, or T-Mobile HSPA Plus market, rather. They're not like Sprint's 4G. You know, there are select markets across the nation, but they're growing on a regular basis. I believe their goal is to cover 185 million people by the end of the year. So it's available, you know, I'm based in Charlotte. It's available here. It just lit up in San Francisco, a couple of other cities as well. So it's interesting. I'll get into that more a little bit later. You know, it's interesting to compare the HSPA Plus speeds. I was a little bit disappointed by those. I'm not sure if it's my actual cell site that's here by the office or if it's HSPA Plus in general, but we'll get to that in a minute. You can see, you know, quick and easy. Pinch to zoom. Double tap. Scroll down through our content, and you see, I mean, for me, it's just out of the box, very, very quick and easy to use. Transitions are relatively fast.